She's right there. She's right there. With who? With our mayor, together, right?
The mayor said.
And Jeanette was probably sitting around here somewhere. Oh, she's the one taking a photo. That's why she's not here. All right, here we go. Well, there was a nonprofit business organization banquet that was 2 days ago, I believe, where there's so many nonprofit businesses actually open up, had their own banquet tables, but Mayor stopped by 3 tables only. One table out of the 3 was right here, Jeanette's table, because she has her nonprofit organization that runs to, called the, what's her name?
My organization is called Helping Special Friends Incorporated, but there's other provider agencies there as well, but he chose our table to come to.
Exactly. So she's a really corporate lady. She is the director and she is the manager, and she hires the people and fires the people. That's who she is. So, be careful, because here's a Jeanette right there. If you need to looking for a job, also, here she is right there. She's having a constant interview among so many people who's actually coming for the interviews. And the mayor basically helped people to pass out the flyers to everybody.
Josiah passed out the people,
Right.
passed out our brochures, shorts, flyers, bags, pins, cards, everything. Everybody was taken to you, Josiah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, that's great. That could be the part of my talk today. Actually, my talk for today is back to the talk where, if you flip on, now being in a zone is secret to the happiness. So being in a zone is a secret to the happiness. I don't know if you heard the terminology, the zone. I hit the zone. Woo! Woo! More like an auto zone, but actually hit the zone. Kind of get yourself automatically. You're gonna hit a zone. When you hit a zone, everything's like automatic. The auto zone. Let's play the video. All right.
지역에서 있다 그 말이에요.
The 3 they won this year by a combined 6 points. Early flex formation. Redick. Got this for a 3 for J.J. Redick.
Reasons why you're seeing the Spurs yet again, another winning season there, is that he just demands the respect. Another 3 for J.J. Redick.
See, it was Jimmy Butler's 3rd game with the Sixers, hitting the game-winning 3 with 3/10 of a second to go as Simmons able to finish it, working some magic there with Redick.
Legs aren't there anymore, Mark, but the instincts still are. He's a good rebounder, and he's got a nice touch, and you mentioned the range has changed.
Boy, J.J. Redick really playing well.
Full court, whether it's a perimeter player, Kemba, or anybody else, you've got to keep them out of the lane.
J.J. Redick warming to the task, hitting his first 3 from the floor.
People in Philly have to keep that in mind, and there are going to be bumps in the road, but you know what? They have so much talent, and in the postseason,
Have you seen defensive improvements? Because there was a knock on this team last year, how they weren't able to keep perimeter.
Just stop everything.
For Bridges coming late.
Simmons got it done. Ben Simmons fading away, drilled it after J.J. Redick was unable to uncork the 3 very well. He just picked up his 4th personal. Kaminsky coming off the bench supplying 11 points. There's Redick, and he drills another 3. J.J. Redick, his 6th 3 of the game, his first points of the second half. 36 in this game, making 37.
And the reason why we talked about having to defend that drive.
What a night for J.J. Redick, his 7th 3, give him 27 points, and the Sixers go up at deuce.
Woo! Okay, all right. All right. As I'm following, of course, 76ers. Eagles season's over now. I'm following the Sixers now. 76ers now, they're clinched into the playoff right now. They're at the 3rd place in the conference out of 20 teams. Eastern and Western Conference, altogether 40 teams, I believe, or more. But out of all the 40 teams now, we are the first one to clinch into the playoff. Now, out of 10 teams are supposed to be playing the playoff for the goal for the championship. I think this year, 76 has a greater chance to become a champion, defeating Golden State Warriors, perhaps. I believe we can because of people like him, J.J. Redick. As you can see, the three-point shooting, the shooting out of the arc from distance for the arc. As you can see, there's a big arc around the basket. That's the distance arc, line of arc, all the way to the basket is about 23 feet long. 23 feet long. When you can see that J.J. Redick always stays on the arc line and shoot because he cannot get inside the arc to shoot. He gets only 2 points. But when he steps out of the arc, if he shoots from outside the arc, he gets a 3 points. He was only shooting for the 3 points. Now his heights. Jacob, can you come out here, please? Can you come out here, Jack? Thank you, Jacob. J.J. Redick is about a 6'5". Now here it is. Jacob is a 6.32. All right. J.J. Redick is about maybe 2 to 3 inch higher than Jacob. Okay. Consider that Jacob's height is small in the National Basketball League, professional. Average height's about the 6.7 or 8, which is like that. And some people 7.4, which is like hit that right out there. I mean, you're talking about a player in the 76 to 7.4, giant. We have a big man, big man. Who's that? Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is about that. He almost hit that. He can hit a ceiling. So J.J. Redick is small. Only for him to be able to compete with those athletes whose height is a 3-point shooter. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you very much. All right, now that was just a couple of days ago. He did incredibly well. He trained well. He been practicing. But what made him so great in this game was because he was in the zone. Total visual focus, absolute concentration, and you are in a prime or maximum height or level of performing level where you just best of yourself. It's like who you are, revealing 100% wherever you are, especially in this game. All he trained, all he practiced, every training he did, he was able to express it in this very important game as we're coming close to the playoff. Bill Russell from the Boston Celtics, he says when he was in a game, everything became slow motion. When he was in a zone, everything became slow motion, and he knows somehow the players' next moves or players' next shootings or what he's gonna shoot, where he's gonna shoot, how people's gonna move. He can predict precisely, and it happens all the time. When you're in a zone, you can't even predict. And of course, another person, Christopher Bergler, a world-class indoors triathlete and ultra runner, he writes this: I would visualize a jolt of pain enter into my body through the sole of my feet, with energy coming from the core of the earth. My feet became a conduit that allowed my body to tap into infinite energy source that propelled me forward like I was plugged into nuclear reactor.
Yes.
When you're in a zone, you were able to become a sort of surge that plug into this earthly energy that you'll become the nuclear source of a nuclear reactor. You become a nuclear reactor itself. And everyone wants to get into the zone. I've been explained to you, and everyone wants to become a part of it. I want to get into the zone. Now, sorry, I can't even pronounce his name. I call him Mike. Famous psychology professor. Now, he gave a talk at TED Talk. He talked about, instead of calling the zone, he says the flow. So, If you Google it, that flow, it'll help you explain what is it the zone is all about, or flow. Mike. I'm sorry, I can't. This is too much for me. It's too much for me. Too much for me. Now, what's it like to be in the zone? Let's say. He asked so many athletes and so many professionals. And these are the sort of common denominator. People experience these. Action and awareness merging. In other words, mind body unity. Experiencing mind body unity. Time transformation means that seems like a very short, long game, makes you feel tired, but you don't feel the time. Everything just went fly. 100% concentration. Loss of self-conscious means that we're not worrying about what people think about you. I'm not worried about what people think about me. Sense of self-control. I own this game. I own this job. I am the center of this job. I am the center of this game. I am the center of this community. I am a center of this game. I have a 100% control over this game. I control this game. Not somebody else, but I am the one. Woo! And that doesn't apply not only to athlete, you're talking about conversation. Wow, it went through the 3 hours already? My wife has been spoken to my children every time more than 1 hour. For me, 5 minutes. But for her, 1 hour, she didn't feel the time passing because engaged in a conversation with someone, just you feel like, because of constant flow of inspiration, vision, understanding, engaging, composing music. When you're in a zone, you begin to write. It's not about you write music every day. Okay, I gotta get up in the morning, gotta drink coffee, I gotta write the music. Like a job, 9 to 5. 5 o'clock, punch out. Come in 9 o'clock in the morning, punch in, gonna write the music. It's not like that. Somebody composing the music when they hit the zone. It does not come in always. Somebody writes the poetry, Gene and others, people who write the poetry. It's not like a job of walking, 9 o'clock, you write the poetry, you leave. You're talking about the sales. It's not like that at all. It's not just one moment. It's a constantly, it happens when you hit the zone. Your creativity, your productivity, your joy, your inspiration begin to flow. And you can't hold it, but you gotta express it. That is the key to the happiness, brothers and sisters. Are we experiencing today? Zone. Everyone wanna get there. Even talking about, assembly workers, manufacturers, auto car mechanics, to a salesperson, Chuo Food, we're selling the fish. Who came up with that idea of selling Japanese beef? We're selling the fish. Chuo Food selling a fish. But who came up with that idea of selling a beef? There is a young man from Boston. He was a salesperson. He was kind of new to the business. He walked into the Chuo Food. And then I believe something happened to him. He was engaged in a conversation with the customers. He was engaged with somebody talking like hours. And he began to receive inspiration. Oh my goodness, why don't we sell the beef? Wagyu, it costs $50 to $60 per pound. I mean, this is expensive beef. It's not like a $5 or $4 or $6, $7. It's not like the one we find from the Acme supermarket, but a Wagyu, it costs so much that who's gonna buy it? But he was selling like a pancake. Hotcakes. He was selling like a pancake and hotcakes. It made a whole lot of money out of that. It is about how to get into the zone as a salesperson. It is about how to walk an assembly line and how to get into the zone. As a mechanic, as a project manager, as a designer, especially creativity, has to be kicked in always. As a manager, as a director, as an owner of the business, as that years ago, I realized when I walk into the nail business, I saw there were a lot of beautiful artwork trying to cover in some of the perhaps little spots. But Yeso used her artistic talent to draw like all kinds of like Snoopy's to English writing to that is like hip hop, man. I walk into the nail salon with a style. Like, whoa, I like it. The art of it. It is an art of imperfection, of the arts on some people usually don't think like that. Right? Yeah. People don't think like that. Usually trying to cover up and maybe replacing with another panel to cover the wall, whatever. Paint. But she does it with her artwork. That she paints with drawing that she's really good at it. And I walked in and like, wow, it's a cool place. Again, when she hit the zone, and how creativity kicks in, and this all happens. What happened to us during the zone? Scientifically speaking, what is exactly happening to our brain when we hit the zone? We call it hypofrontality. Hypofrontality. Wow, what's that mean? Hypofrontality. Exactly. Exactly. Hypofrontality means, I researched it. Here it is. Prefrontal cortex. Your front part of the brain dealing with the cognitive, reasoning, cognition. And here is this part right here, dealing with a fear. Cognition and a fear. Dealing with a cognition is so important because we need to protect my body. I need to protect my mind, my emotion, from any harming from outside. Your prefrontal cortex tells you, be careful. Be careful, Miss Karen. Be careful. This person. Be careful. Don't. I mean, she's a really great. She's been going to dance all the time. Okay, so she's pretty fit. But of course, Miss Karen will go to the gym. I'm so fit. I'm gonna do my sprinting dash on the running mill. I mean, the prefrontal cortex will tell you, be careful, slow down a little bit. It gives you a reason why you should slow down, you know. But she's actually, she goes to dance practice all the time, Miss Karen. Now, but this particular parts, deal with the fear, is somehow inhibited. In other words, prevented or slows down. It allows your body, who's been trained or learned, prepare, fully maximize, perform. In other words, your natural self come out without thinking so much. Thinking. I don't think I can. I don't know what people think about me. I don't know. I get a little nervous and I'm worried about others and I'm worried about it. I don't want to make mistakes and no more of that. Because blocking the prefrontal cortex and here is the cortex, this particular area, fear, no more. So allow your fullness, your real self to come out. Your authenticity which shows up. That is the zone. The scientific explanation. How that happened, they're still in the research right now. But this is exactly what happened. What is required to attain zone? Well, before that, let me explain my story here. Can I share my story? My story. My story is I've been playing soccer through the junior high school and high school. I've always been playing defense, side, back, center back, what I call a sweeper, right before my own goalkeeper. I sweep the ball. I defend the ball. My job has been, I've been trained to defend from enemy coming in, opponent coming into beyond our half line. My job is to get the ball, pass the ball, kick the ball out of there to the forward or center half. That's my job. I've been trained to do that. When I went to high school, I played for junior university. I went in between two teams, in and out. I'm a well-known and famous, known as a bench warmer for the junior university team. Have you ever been a bench warmer long enough that you can even burn on your own bench? I was one of those person. When I played in junior varsity, when I called for the varsity, I warm up bench for the players. Come on, bench guys warming up for you to sit down. It's kind of hot. Gosh, got a little heat, cooling off a little bit. Sorry, Shorty, come on, man, you sitting too long here. Where you sitting too long? Sorry. But that's why I understand the heart of people, heart of those bench warmers. I understand what's like to be a bench warmer. Not being on the front, playing, be a star players. I'm kind of behind the scene kind of person. But always I thought I was. Then one day, Coach Brambo from a high school varsity team, Coach Guy Brambo, he says, sure, he says, junior varsity to varsity, we're going to have a practice game. See, I never really connected deeply with the varsity guys because I've been bench warm looking at those guys. They're like, hey man, are you warming a bench for me, man? Hey, Shorter? Oh, it's nice and warm. All right, thank you. You know, I mean, I just never connect with those guys, the arrogant varsity players who coming in with like attitude, all right? I never connect with them. I don't have any chemistry with them. I don't connect with Coach Guy Brambo. He's like so smart and so intelligent. Oh, what's that about? Right? He understands the strategies and all that. I don't connect. I connect with the guy in the junior varsity guys are a little rough, you know, but they're fresh. They love to play sports. I'm on the game. I've been always playing sweeper and playing defense, but I like it. I like those guys. And there was an opportunity for me to actually show who we are, what we got as a junior varsity. Can actually beat the varsity. Yeah, I was so pumped up. My heart is a reveal. I'm like really want to show them what we got. So we play. I was way back what I would call the sweeper, right in front of my goalkeeper. Then I realized I hit the zone. I didn't even realize I was playing the forward. I didn't even know I was playing the center half to center forward. I was playing, passing around the middle, and like doing all this kind of things and passing around. Okay, right, go, move around, keep pressing. And I said, all right, come on, give me a shot, come on. I was so into the game. I had a total control of the game. I know exactly what's coming. Second later, and I have a 100% concentration, and I own this game. We lost it by 1 point, but we did well. I was on fire. By the way, Coach Brambo asked me to, hey, Shorter, join us the varsity game tomorrow against the Exeter Academy, who are really top-notch teams. And we have to defeat this team to make so that we can get into the playoff. So he called me up and joined me. And I was out there, as always, and bench warming, all right, I was sitting and warming up the bench. Okay, the thermostat. All right, it's kind of cold here. Hey, Shorter, man, you here again? All right, man, thank you, Shorter, for warming up the bench. Make sure, keep it warm for us. Yes, sir, thank you. And Coach Brambo said in the middle of the game. Middle of the game was we were winning by 2-1. My goodness, against Exeter Academy, we're doing great against a very difficult team, challenging team. And Coach Brambo suddenly, in the middle of the game, asked me, Shorter, you play center forward. What? Center forward? Yeah, you play center forward. I'm like, honestly, in front of everyone, I did this. What? Yeah, you play center forward. So, oh my God, you know what, first of all, I didn't really have any chemistry with these players. I don't have any connection with the players. I don't have any connection with my coach, or I don't call him my coach, but coach from the varsity team. And I don't have any feeling for desire to win this game because this is a varsity game. I'm from junior varsity. I love my team, I love my coach, I love my game, but not this game. And I'm totally out of zone. I couldn't focus, and I was thinking about myself if I made mistakes, and I couldn't score because I'm a defense player. All the reason possible I can, using my pre-form cortex is strongly activated they show that you're a defense player, you're not an offense player, you can't even score. And then people, watch out, people are gonna laugh at you because you're trying hard, but I think you can't do it. And all these things about reasoning, I cannot do it. And guess what? I did horrible. We lost against Exeter by what point? 6-1. While I was playing a center forward, they kept on scoring it. All the team members like, oh my God, show the center forward, I can't believe it. This whole, everything just broke down.
Oh, sorry.
Again, zone out of zone makes a huge difference for me. Now, by the way, okay, what is required to attain the zone? This is everybody really curious, but we all want to get into the zone. What is it? Okay, right. First of all, by the way, brothers and sisters, if something that is extremely challenging and you're overstressed, you cannot get into the zone. Or if it's so boring, so easy, you cannot get into the zone. Therefore, we all have to prepare ourselves, practice, shape up your skill, train yourself, practice, work on your skill as a salesperson, as a nail designer, as a hair salon person, as a barber, as the director, as athletes. Everybody has to prepare yourself and train yourself so that you can get into the zone. Whatever seemingly challenging task, you can handle it. You feel I can handle it enough. I feel challenged that I can do it. It's not boring. It's a very challenging, but I can handle it. I can do it. Next, you gotta have a clear goal. What is it? What are you aiming for? Nice to have a goal. Managers, directors, in order for your teammate to experience in that zone, to give a goal. You gotta have give a goal.
Yeah.
Right? Now, in the sales department, you go. Finally, here it is. Mind, body, unity. Oh, this is my favorite part. Being a spiritual. Be aware of the present moment. When I was in a company, I'm sorry, but I share with you, to the people or the true world food employers to employees, I constantly struggle when I walk into the freezer. I start thinking about my home finance, about my children's future, to health, to all these worries. All these worries, it hits my head so hard every day, and I couldn't focus. I could not get into the zone of mind-body unity. And how can I be able to overcome and experience this sort of nirvana experience? I was filled with the creativity and joy and productivity and maximize your performance through the what? Attaining the mindfulness. Okay. Lift my box. Using my right and step my right leg forward, left and right, and bend my knee down, and then make sure place this box here. I step back to the right and a left and a right and a left, and I'm gonna walk out. Left, right. Focus on each action you take while you're working. In order for you to walk away, stay away from that many thinking in your head. Each action, I sit down. I using my arm and place my head and stand up. And I walk right and left. Focus on each action. It helps you to focus on actually your each steps of activities. That helps you to stay away from the distraction of your mind. Mindfulness. When you're getting nervous, when you enter into the state of fear, please do this. My suggestion is to I am alive. Thank you. Simplest form in our life is I am alive. I am alive. And thank you. I am alive and thank you. Helps you to focus on your mind rather than many thinking. Focus on the present moment. present moment, right now. It'll help you to stay away from that lot of worry and fear, and which actually prevent you from your optimal performance. Let me share with you a story. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, how long do I have?
That's okay, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Then I'm going to give you a share with the story of Takuya. Takuya Moba he's a great barber now. He's a well accomplished, he's working on it. Takuya is staying at the Diamond's house right now. I mean, Noritaka, you know about Noritaka, right? He went to barber school for 7-8 months, paid $7,000 to $8,000 to learn a skill before he even start working at the barber shop. Takuya is different. He walked right into the barber shop, not like any of the barbers I found in my area charging $8 or $6 or $7. He walked right into the barber in the center city on South Street and Broad Street, where many of the doctors and medical students, professional, white-collar workers, and many of the members from the orchestra are coming to that barber shop. They were looking for professional haircut. That's why they're paying a lot of money for it. He walked right into it and asked the owner, please train me. And he has to pay, in exchange, I will pay you the money. So he can stay in the barber shop called the South Street Barber, where he can actually cut people's hair. You can imagine, first day, somebody just walk right in, and I call, let's say the owner's name, I don't know the owner's name, I call him John. Let's say John is owner of the barber shop. John says to the Takuya, all right, why don't you cut his hair? His hair? I mean, he didn't really know much about how to cut people's hair, but he just would walk right out there, and he was challenged. He was like, fear, I mean, before he hit on, it's too much challenge for him to cutting somebody's hair who are professional, maybe a doctor, and if I mess this up, and he's all over it. It's just, he'd be kicked out of the barber shop kind of feeling. But anyway, he tried, he learned. He's been learning. For a year and a half, he's been learning, and he's been cutting people's hair, and now he have a clientele. Names of clients, loyal client for Takuya. They will go there only for Takuya. They call Takuya for the appointments. Takuya gets there at least 7 appointments a day, 7 to 12 or 13. Busy days around the 13, including walk-in. All right? You're talking about between, at least he makes a $20 to $60. Tip between $5 to $20 a tip. Plus $20 of hair cutting and additional service like shaving for $5. This is for $5. This one for $5. This one for $5. Now it's up to around $35. So he gets paid for $20 to $30 by cash. Cash only, no check. Cash. Right. So he gets, at least he makes it $25 to $60 on every customer, and at least he gets a 6 person, at least. And he gets up to 12, 13 people a day, Now, John was really impressed. Why? Because Takuya goes out and plays basketball with the customers. Takuya likes to play basketball. But Barbara is playing basketball with somebody, like clients. Barbara visiting clients' home and say, how you doing, man? Let's play basketball. Yeah. I mean, that personal. I never seen any barber walks into my house or, hey, let's play basketball, Shora. Come on, man, let's play basketball. Let's play some hoop, man. Let's go. Now he's been building such a close relationship with all the clients that he has more clients than somebody more professional than he is, more skilled than he is, for working for so many years. Takuya works a little more than 1 year. He has much more clients than anybody else. And John was like a shock. This is what you have. This is your niche. You know how to connect with people, but nobody else can. That is your niche. Bottom line is how much you're going to make through so many clients, but not just how much you're going to make, but how happy you're going to be with these clients you have. Hit the zone maximize your performance, but plus that is the building a relationship with others. That is why number four is this. Number 4 is here you go. In order for you to maximize your performance, it's so important. It's closely related to loved ones, according to psychologists. Has been so much counseling has done with the athletes and the professionals. Common denominator is that they're always somebody, loved ones are part of their lives. For example, writing of poems or music, always thought about the loved ones. And when you're playing, for example, when you're playing baseball, here it is, the parents are watching you. Right? Okay, my family's watching me. Oh, yes, yeah. Or perhaps, I heard there was one short distance runner. Imagine that my father is right there, waiting for me at the end of the line. My dad, always somehow related to loved one. But I can just go a little bit more than that. Psychologists said it, but I said it, yes, plus loved one, God. If I have a God, I want to do something for God. I want to do something for Him or my parents. It gives me more energy. Of course, I love my parents, my wife, my children, and also gives me a surge of energy. If each one of us, myself personally, I want to do something for God. It gives me a lot of energy in the heart to do something that allows me to hit the zone. Woo! Famous story, David and Goliath. I don't know about the story, this is a famous story. David has always used the story of meek ones against the big guy like Goliath, but with the mercy and the blessing and the power of God, he could defeat the Goliath. It was a sort of typical story that has been told, but that's not true, really. The truth is that David has been trained slingshot almost entire his life. He's been a shepherd, watching over the sheep under the direction of his father, Jesse. Now, many of the enemy animals are coming trying to, devour, eat the sheep. He had to fight against those animals by practicing the slingshot. It's like, okay, when you hear slingshot, from a modern day perspective, it's like a toy. Slingshot? This? It's a joke. But it was not a joke. 1200 BC, this was the weapon, the most scientifically, most advanced, most devastating weapon ever discovered. They applied technology. It's almost, according to the science, the study, actually speed, the power that slingshot has is equivalent to the 45 caliber. How do you call it? Bullet? Almost to that power. You're talking about Indiana Jones. You know the movie, the first movie? Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Raiders of the Lost Ark? Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, you know the famous moment that Indiana Jones is standing, the guy was swinging a knife, he just gonna pull out a gun and This is exactly that. It's exactly that. Guy Goliath, a big tall guy with a 145-pound arm around him. He just couldn't move. But now, David, watching the battle, Goliath was like yelling out to the Israelites, "Hey, you guys, man, what kind of God do you have? Wimps? No one want to fight with me? What a God do you have?" Ha! Laughing at the God of Israel. Jesse was just delivering a food to his brothers, told by his father, and then suddenly he heard this conversation, yelling. Big voice of Goliath just putting down on God. He was so mad. He was so mad that I'm going to defeat this guy. And I'm going to annihilate the entire Palestine. And somebody heard that and report to the King Saul. King Saul, this one little young man is actually going to fight. I'm sorry, but you're too young. He said, "No, I can fight." All right, why don't you go ahead? everybody put him a lot of heavy arms. He said, I don't need these arms, it's too heavy for me, I don't know how to deal with it. I need just one slingshot, that's all. Powerful slingshot with no arm around him, light enough, he can move around fast. As Goliath moving forward, he charged forward, but as he's charging forward, he's swinging these things around. He's been practicing this for all his life. He can aim it like a gun shooting right between his forehead, right here, and just hit bullseye in one shot. He grabbed the 5 more stones because just in case that if Goliath's brothers or somebody else trying to attack him, he can use it for 4 more shots to defeat other enemies as well. But he was so confident with zeal for God, so focused, he hit the zone, and his power and creativity, everything is trained for, and revealed, performed in this battle was the most important battle for the Israelites. Are we facing the moment? Are we facing the moment, everyone? Are we facing the moment where God, you just to do something for God? I cannot, when I see this moment, I cannot stand, but let me. I know I cannot be self-conscious, but I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do it. I just want to share with you the last story. Sorry, there's a lot of stories, but I'm happy to share with you. The story is this. If somebody with a clear goal and with a desperate heart or wanted to do something for God and reaching out, I've been telling everybody about this sort of sharing holy juice, bless me, being a blessing to others. It really inspires so many. In, of course, other countries like Thailand, other countries, in conjunction with the government, they're working to do, called a marriage seminar, with their community. But here, I hear a lot of stories like people go out the parking lot, or people setting up a table like we do, or in many other ways. But during the winter time, when somebody wanted to, really I want to save the marriage of so many people here in this community. And thinking in this freezing cold weather, I don't want to get out there in the parking lot. I don't want to get out in here. I don't want to go to the mall. It's too shy. But God, I don't know. God, what is it? What possible I can do to reaching out? And one couple from New Jersey decided to walk right into the laundromat. I cannot do all this stuff. I'm sorry, I'm too self-conscious. I can't go to the laundromat. I can't go to the parking lot. I can't really do a park. I mean, and all I can do is setting up a table or something like that. Or, but this couple walk into the laundromat, and here it is. The couple met with a lady at the laundromat. And the lady was like, yes, wow, I will take this. Yes. And the couple called her later, would you like to join our marriage rededication blessing ceremony? She said, yes, of course, yes. Would you like to try to commit, and would you like to go through the 40 days? Yes. Would you like to do 3 days? Absolutely 3 days. Yes. Why? It is because she prayed to God. She's been sick for many, many years. She was afraid that her husband was going to be run away from her, walk away one day, brings the end to the marriage. She was afraid. She prayed to God, God, please save this marriage. Save this marriage. And the next day when she walked in laundromat, she met this couple. God, listen to our prayer. Out of your desperation perhaps maybe, but because of God, somehow God is there. When you're really feeling that you want to be a blessing, wherever you are, God listened to their prayer and somehow helping to connect with you. We're thinking when they walk into the laundromat, my goodness, I can't talk to, because this person is going to laugh at me. Man, what are you doing in the laundromat? Or maybe perhaps the manager of the laundromat is going to come out, excuse me, you can't do this. This is a private property here. Please just leave. This is my cortex, cortex, the prefrontal cortex is telling me all the reason why you shouldn't do it. But this couple, out of really, from heart, zealness, whatever, love for God, walk right into the laundromat, and I met this wonderful lady, and it saved her marriage. Saving a marriage, one marriage at a time. It is our mission, are we? But anyway, wherever you are in your businesses, hitting the zone is the key to the infallible happiness. Join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent, thank you today, and thank you for Father, brothers and sisters here today. And I'm just so grateful. I'm a lucky person, and my family is pretty lucky. They're surrounded by these so many wonderful people here. They are the family. You know, I see the laughter and the smile on everyone's faces, and I see how everybody is spreading that smile and laughter and joy and sharing with so many others. Jean just told me, Father, that these experiences happening here, it's like a nuclear reactor where people began to explode this joy outwardly and began to become a blessing to so many people that which we didn't know how much we are impacting our community. City of Philadelphia. Meeting with the mayor at the table. That was not a coincidence. It was God. You sending us a message, God. We are very special, unique people. Each one of us, we have an amazing uniqueness and a niche and uniqueness that we can reveal. We can really able to bring to the maximum level where we can really bless others with what we have. Each one of us are so unique that cannot even copy. Copying is not a really good word, but what is discovering who I am. My deep inside, and there are so many unique abilities that with sleep, perhaps sleep inside that need to be awakened right now. Thank you, God, for this incredible time and this service, and I offer this prayer to you. And then we shortly will start and you can say, Central Blessed Couple. Adieu.
Adieu.